Look over there at that table. She just got stood up. Go over there and talk to her. Another girl sees how much of a catch you are.
You guys gonna ask me to watch you do it?
Is a movie about a threesome secretly conservative Christian propaganda? Welcome, and today I am trying something new. We are going to look at a film that is actively in theaters right now. So we're doing a chill polyamory quickie. I don't know if I want to call it that. We'll figure it out. But first, hey, hi, hello. I am Genevieve, and I am non-monogamous and polyamorous for 13 years, going on 14. I make all sorts of shit. Look at my shit. Isn't it cute? Education, entertainment, story times. I got a podcast called I Could Never, which is telling you like real true stories. And on this channel, I take a look at non-monogamy in film and TV. What do they do well and what's messy and they get wrong? Okay, so when I saw this trailer, I was like, who is this for? Actually, I know who it's for. I was like, I'm just getting vibes. I'm just getting vibes that this is for conservatives, or that this is for religious people, or that this is going to be a cautionary tale. Even the tagline for the movie is, this was supposed to be fun. Now, the opening shot of the movie is Jabuki, who is a gay character. I mean, his name in the movie is Greg, but he's Jabuki. The opening shot, the first thing we see is him and his husband getting married, right? I don't know, there's something about it. It felt a little doth protest too much. Like, hey, everybody, just so you know, right off the bat, we're super into gay interracial marriage. Like, we support it. We are allies. Now, let's move past that and get to the straight white characters. So the premise is that this guy, Connor, has like a long-time crush on Olivia. Keeps trying to get with her, and she keeps saying, nah. We slept together once years ago, but I'm just a friend. I'm not trying to get with you. So to try and like get a rise out of her or make her jealous, which is like always a cool way to do anything, he goes and he starts talking to Jenny, who is a stranger, just met her at that night at the bar. And so Olivia walks over. He gets the rise out of her that he was hoping. She walks over and she announces, I'm here, you know? And he and I slept together once. I'm not even joking. That was like the second sentence out of her mouth. So the three of them are chatting, and then they go to the dance floor, and it is the most Christian rock concert coded dance floor I've ever seen. Okay, that's fine. You know, not every club has to be crazy with latex and whips and chains, you know? I am in Berlin, but I understand not everybody is. That wasn't the thing. It was the way that the camera was treating the three of them connecting on the dance floor. It was focusing on like a hand touching an arm. An arm, mind you, that was wearing a long sleeve sweater. And then that was it. And I was like, this ain't beating the conservative rumors, right? Like, this is feeling very like chaperoned school dance, you know? And you do not have to touch each other to be hot. Like, I think one of the hottest scenes that has been committed to film was that moment in Challengers where the two guys are eating the churros and he pulls the chair closer with his foot. It's like, whew, huh. Okay, don't get me started. So there can be a lot of eroticism in not touching. But no, the dance floor with the three of them felt like this is as far as I'm allowed to go. This is as far as I'll let myself go. It feels very like Mormon edging. So the three of them go back to his place, and Connor even says to Olivia, I want you. I want a one-on-one with you. He's not interested in a trio. Olivia pushes him and coaxes him. I was like, well, normally this gets framed as a man's fantasy, right? Two women. And I thought that's the direction they were gonna go. But as the movie went on, I realized, oh, they're framing Olivia like this, firebrand, this brash, inappropriate, reckless liberal. Olivia and Connor start making out, and she's on top of him. And then Jenny comes back from the kitchen. She was like, are you guys trying to ask me to watch you hook up? Like, fair question, right? Olivia's like, nah, come over here. Pushes her. She's like, have you ever kissed a girl? It's very... God, again, it could have been cute. It could have been cute. It could have been like a cute little baby queer moment of like, have you ever kissed a girl? No, I don't know. I'm scared, right? Like that could have had nice vibes, but Olivia is being such a attack dog about it. Jenny at least consents. She's curious, we find out later that she's like kind of a conservative Christian girly, and she was just curious of, what's out there. Let me try something spicy for a night. But later she says, oh, that wasn't me. That's not how I am. I'm like feeling validated in my spidey senses, right? I'm like, you sure are making the good girl a Christian and the bad girl promiscuous. And I knew, I was like, I bet they're not gonna show the sex. And oh my God, was that correct? They're making out fully clothed. Smash cut to the next morning. That's what we see. That's what we see. I mean, for a movie about sex, this seems a little scared of sex, you guys. And by the way, they wake up the next morning and Olivia is gone. No communication. She's just disappears. I can't imagine a more disorienting thing for like the first time, for Jenny, the first time she even kissed, let alone slept with a woman, to then have that woman disappear in the morning and no word, no changing of numbers, no anything. Like, God, like they really want us to think that Olivia just is like cold and has no values or empathy. And within some weeks, we learn that Olivia is pregnant. She got pregnant the night of the threesome. And because she's a loosely moraled woman, she thinks about having a evacuation pill. All right, I'm gonna avoid the bad words that the algorithm will punish me for. She considers ending this pregnancy. And he says, no, let's do it even though it's ahead of schedule. Unplanned pregnancy can be a beautiful thing for people. They didn't mean to do it yet, but hey, here we are. Let's roll with it. But I just get really turned off by the idea that there are steps you automatically are gonna take, because they've never talked about having kids. They've not had that talk. But in his mind, he's still like, well, that's gonna happen at some point. There is a schedule, and this is a step that will be taken by default. And in general, the relationship escalator, you just like step on one step and then you just go through the motions. You're like, well, this is just what you're supposed to do next, I guess, right? Like, I'm not even gonna think critically about, do I want the other things? This is just like what you do. Going on autopilot, that's how people wind up in situations that they regret or resent. So anyway, that's my little aside about the relationship escalator. So they decide to keep it. And then like, I think the next day, Jenny comes over and Jenny also got pregnant. So it was one sleepover. He didn't use protection with either of them. Both of them were fine with that and ovulating at the same time. Like maybe there's a word. If I'm in the most good faith interpretation, I'm like, maybe that is technically physically possible. But to me, this felt like cautionary tale vibes. The fact that this was like a sinking feeling of like, what has he done? He's now, messed up his life is kind of how they frame it, that he's gotten both of these women pregnant at the same time. And it really felt like, like those anti-drug campaign things of just like, not even once. It'll ruin your life. If you smoke one marijuana cigarette, you'll be done forever.
I found a joint in the basement. Anyone gonna fess up?
It felt very convenient that his life apparently seemed to be in chaos because he had one night of doing something pretty vanilla and tame and we didn't even see it, And did I tell you that Jabuki is along as the wingman for everything? He goes with them to the clinic to make wisecracks in the waiting room. He goes with them to Lama's class to make wisecracks in Lama's class. Jabuki is there to be just entertainment. And that's just not so cute. It's not so cute in this year 2025.
Is she still up for threesome?
But when he's joking about like, hey, would she still be up for a trio? Connor says this.
That's the mother of my child, you disgusting animal.
Hey, that's the mother of my kid. Just not even a dog whistle. That's like a dog bullhorn, right? That's a dog lawnmower. I don't know, other loud things that I guess humans would hear. Just on its face, conservative messaging. That is Madonna or complex. You had sex, but now you are with child, so you are holy. You are not to be seen in a sexual way. And you shouldn't see her that way. You should not have any desire for her because she's a mother now. Hate to break it to you, some of the biggest sluts I know are moms. Oh, and at one point, Jenny's dad, who's like this very conservative, very religious, man of the house, trying to protect his daughter, his grown-ass, like mid-30-year-old daughter, he pulls Connor aside and he has this like almost tear-filled plea, right? Like it was a rant, but it was intended to be endearing. You can tell the movie wanted you to feel for this dad and be with the dad and like side with him. The dad was basically saying, we have values. as a family. We have a certain set of values, and that might seem outdated to you as a young person, but it keeps life uncomplicated. Like, what about all of the people who go through the motions and do the thing and hate their lives? And they spend their whole life resenting their partner because they never wanted that kind of setup to begin with. They just did it because that's what you do. Is that not complicated? When Jenny sits down with Connor to talk about the pregnancy, and again, Jenny is innocent, sweet, well-spoken, who has conservative-leaning values, right? Anti-choice. She says, I wanted to do this when I was ready, but then that night happened, and I got what I deserved. And he says, well, I just want to do the right thing.
I'm here because I want to try and do the right thing.
Do the right thing. It's a conservative idea of there is a right and there is a wrong. And if you do the wrong thing, you will be punished or you will suffer, right? And it just feels like such a movie filled with shame, he's so passive as a man. He's just like along for the ride, and like each of these women is like doing what they want, and it kind of frames him a little bit like a victim, that he doesn't have control over the situation, which also makes me side-eye this movie. What you trying to say there, movie? You know? He's doing it because of obligation or because he wants to be seen as a moral person, but he's like he doesn't seem that happy about it, at least not when he's making that decision. He like gets happy about it later. That's also what the movie wants to say, is like, okay, you don't want to do the thing that you're supposed to do. Well, do it anyway. You'll like it later. It's like, I don't know, man. Some people really don't and shouldn't have had kids. And then the two women go into labor at the exact same time. I don't know. That now I'm calling bullshit. I should have called bullshit earlier, but there is no world in which that would happen. Lightning does not strike 3 times in a row, right? Like, there is no way that all of that happened at the same time. Wait, who wrote this? I actually have to look this up now. Who wrote this? It's not only written by a man named Ethan, it's directed by a man named Chad. Bring one person who has a cycle into the writer's room. Just for a lark. Just for a what if. What if, as I'm writing about the way that these uteruses work, at the way these menstrual cycles work, what if I asked someone who had that? What if Ethan? What if Chad? I'm so sorry if you are named Chad or Ethan watching this, but please understand what your group as a collective has been capable of. That's all I'm gonna say. Okay? Coming from a white woman, like I've had to consider what my group as a whole, not a great batting average. And then the big reveal at the end, Olivia, liberal, loosely moraled Olivia, well, actually, a different man is the father of her baby.
You are not!
And it was like almost a cop-out, because in the end he actually only did have one kid with one woman, and it's the good one, you know, big air quotes. Conservative messaging wrapped up in a little liberal shell, where it's trying to say like, hey, if you do still have shame, if you are still quite conservative about sex or about, you know, family, then come over to our side, right? The water's warm. Look how happy these religious and conservative people are. Look how miserable this person who wanted bodily autonomy is. It feels like trying to take liberals who were raised around conservatives and bring them into the fold. You know, if the system could otherwise work for you, right, it would be so warm and cozy. Just come over to our side, right? Like, be a trad wife, be a mom. The messaging is there. The effect is there, guaranteed for a portion of people who watch this. And I'm not in the business of telling anybody how to be happy, and this movie shouldn't be either. Anyway, so that is my little rant, right? I have a longer scripted video coming soon, but I had something to say. But let me know if you like this kind of format of a little bit looser, of a little bit more relaxed, where we just hang out and I just talk some trash with you. So anyway, hit like, hit subscribe, do all of the things that tell the algorithm you want to see more of things like this. It really helps a small channel trying to grow. And thank you. The channel has been growing really fast, which is really cool. You know, hello to all these people. Or if you want to love on me with actual money, I take that too. Patreon.com/chillpolyamory. That is where I have a lot of resources and education about non-monogamy and like all sorts of stuff. I've been posting there for 7 years, and I offer like pen pals and peer support, you know, so stay tuned to this channel because I got some cool stuff coming up. I don't know, in a week or two, you'll see. All right. Okay, that's it. Thank you. Bye.